Welcome, Hudson Valley. This is Conor Walsh, host of In Touch, Townsquare Media, the Hudson Valley's award-winning public affairs and issues program. I know we were promoting Warwick Cares for this week, but we had to reschedule that episode. We will return to focus on Warwick Cares very soon. This week, however, we get to speak with Alissa Coschigano Mosca about Rocky's Ruck for Johnny Cake. In her father's honor, she and her family have partnered with Guardian Revival to raise funds to help sponsor service animals for veterans. We talk about the impact the Ruck has had on the Wappingers community, along with the Hudson Valley military community at large, and how folks can contribute. We invite you to listen to a previously recorded conversation between Alissa and myself here on In Touch. I'm so proud to announce that In Touch has received another 2 Excellence in Broadcasting Awards from the New York State Broadcasting Association for 2024. In Touch received the award for Outstanding Public Affairs Program or Series for the 2nd year in a row. Not just that, but In Touch also received the award for Outstanding Editorial/Commentary. This recognition would not be possible without all of our phenomenal guests that we learn from and grow with every single week, and of course, you, the listener. Whether you've been listening for a while or you just found us, thank you for taking part in the conversation and staying in touch with what's going on in the Hudson Valley. Because of the awesome success of In Touch over the last year, we are expanding. We're launching a new spin-off series under the In Touch umbrella called Townsquare Spotlight. These spotlights focus on amazing celebrities and leaders passing through the Hudson Valley who are making an impact in pop culture. You can check out our latest spotlights wherever you listen to In Touch. Hello, Hudson Valley. You're listening to another episode of In Touch, Townsquare Media, the Hudson Valley's award-winning public affairs and issues program. And I feel like an episode that we have today just kind of embodies what In Touch is all about, because right now we're here serving the community and honoring the legacy of somebody that was, important to the area and important to a number of people. And of course, we have so many veterans in this area. A lot of veterans, and we want to make sure that we're taking care of them. And I think this is such a great campaign that's going on right now. So with us today, we have Alissa Coschigano Mosca with us to talk about Rocky's Ruck for Johnny Cake. Alissa, how are you?
I'm doing great. It's so great to be here. Thanks for inviting me. How are you?
Absolutely. Oh, no, I'm doing great. No. So, of course, we know each other through Planet Fitness, of course. And also, I just got to say, great gym. And I loved playing there for the anniversary a couple of weeks ago. Had a really good time over there. So thank you. Just want to give that.
Thank you.
But of course, what we're here to talk about today is Rocky's Ruck for Johnny Cake. Now, to anybody who's uninitiated, that just sounds like a word salad. So if you could, but there's a lot of really deep meaning behind all of this. So could you please explain what Rocky's Ruck is exactly and what that looks like, especially the event that you held just a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, absolutely. So Rocky's Ruck for Johnny Cake started 2 years ago. It was kind of a way to commemorate and honor my dad in his passing. I wanted to do something that was unique to him and what he stood for and everything that he fought for. So my dad was a veteran in the Vietnam War, and after he got out, he was very dedicated to just the practices and the teachings that he learned in the military. I was making hospital corners on my bed by the time I was 3 years old. He preached it through everything that he did, even without saying it. So he was in the Marines, and we had a family dog named Rocky, and Rocky ended up being his service dog. We got him certified, and he was his emotional support dog, but they spent every second of the day together. So as my dad got older, I think he really leaned on Rocky, and Rocky was kind of the sunlight in his day. And, then you start to look more into service dogs and how they're properly serving veterans. My dad had passed 2 years ago, and in a way to really just honor him and remember him, I just wanted to do something that spoke to his relationship with Rocky. And I know how happy he made him. And I know that there's a lot of veterans that often battle with PTSD and they need an outlet. So we started doing some research, and in lieu of flowers for my dad's service, we had asked for donations to the previous foundation that we were working with, which was Canines for Warriors. They were great. They were fantastic. But that was the first foundation that we saw, and was kind of like a bigger company, all nonprofit. They do the same thing that we worked with for the foundation that we worked for this year. And they just raise funds and provide a service dog to veterans that are battling with PTSD. So it started out just in my local gym that I go to, the CrossFit gym that I'm a part of. I'm the head coach there. It started out there with my community, and just started to share the word with them. I got wristbands made. People were buying them. People were donating. It was a great little event, and we had a great turnout. So what that turned into from on his anniversary, we start out at the cemetery where my dad is, and then we walk or ruck from the cemetery to the War Memorial on All Angels Hill Road in Wappingers. So it's about 5 miles. So for me, my dad was in the military. He was a very strong veteran. He always pushed us to do as much as we could and just kind of like reach outside of our limits and just his biggest teaching was really to just be a good person. And that's one of the things that I really carry with me is if you can do anything to be a good person, it doesn't cost you anything, and you're changing someone's life. So that to me felt like a great way to just honor him and show him that there's so many people that want to support and they want to help everybody that they can. From that lesson, I've carried that with me moving forward as especially like as an adult. I just try to do whatever I can in order to make sure that I'm making a difference in someone's day. So, in order for me to feel like we were commemorating him the proper way, we wanted to raise funds with a local charity this year. So, we found Guardian Revival through my husband. He discovered them through a coworker, and they're right here in Beacon. So, they do the same thing that Canines for Warriors do, which is they just raise money for veterans and they provide a service dog for veterans that are battling with PTSD. So for every $5,000 that's raised, a service dog is provided to a veteran. For us to be able to just raise as much money as we can in order to support that, it meant so much. Even if it was, $50, $75, it's still funding towards the proper solution for somebody. And again, like you don't know what a service animal can do for somebody. It changes the whole course of their life. I'm definitely a firm believer that Rocky saved my dad for a very long time. Like I said, they were best friends and they just had a relationship that was unbreakable and it was just so beautiful. So this year for Guardian Revival, we raised over $6,000 for the Ruck. And that means we were able to fully sponsor a service dog for a veteran, which is just it's like such an honorable thing to be able to do that. And that was really in huge part to, my husband, my mom, my brother, my sister-in-law, like we all partnered together in order to make sure that this came to life for the second year in a row. And it was so cool this year for the event. We did it on the 7th. My dad's anniversary is September 6th. And so we start at the cemetery where my dad is. We do like a little prayer service, just, I thank everybody for being there. This year we had two of the workers from Guardian Revival come with two service dogs, and they just introduced themselves. They showed us like what they were working with as far as the dogs go, how they train them, and they were there to thank us, which was just fantastic and so great for them to be a part of it. And then I looked around and I just remember I looked up and I'm like, there's like 45 people here. This is amazing. This is like double what it was last year. So it was my CrossFit gym, it was their friends, it was their family, it was my family, and it just like my relatives and people just came out just to walk with us. So we start out at the cemetery. We had the town of Wappingers Police Department partnered with us, and Officer Reynolds escorted us the entire way. And he was just an angel. Like he stopped traffic for us. He stayed with us the entire way. He yelled at people that were being rude to us. Like it was great.
It's good to have that backing, right?
Oh, it was fantastic. So this year it took us about an hour and a half. And as we were approaching the end, people started coming out of their houses. They were coming to the end of the roads. We were carrying flags. We had a POW flag. We had the Marine flag. We had the American flag. So we're carrying them along the walk as well. And people were just screaming Semper Fi out and they were clapping for us. They were at the end of their driveways. And it was just so moving to see how much support for people that people were giving us, and they didn't even know what we were doing. So then we get to the end and we come up over the hill where you're about to approach the statue where the soldier is. And there's town officials there. There's Joe Cavaccini. I think that's his name. Yeah, yep. Cavaccini.
He's been on this program a few times. Yes, no, we know him well. Cavaccini.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, he was there. Kevin from the Town of Wappingers Veterans Department, Elizabeth. Wow. Adam, like they were all just there and they were there clapping and cheering, and it was just a crowd of people, and then like local supporters who asked what we were doing. They found out, and they were just at the end welcoming us. And I think that was just like the most momentous thing, was just to see like how this has grown from last year till now, and just see the people that are willing to support. And they don't, you don't have to have any personal relationship with them. They hear what it's about, and they want to be a part of it. They want to know that they've helped to make a difference, and that they're supporting us and my family. And we've lived here forever. We've lived here for 31 years in Wappingers, and my dad was, he would go to Castle Point. He like knew some of the other veterans that were there. So, it broke my heart when Kevin told me that he's spoken to my dad and he knows who he was. And I mean, it broke my heart in a good way, because it was just, he knew what we were doing.
Touched you
So,
big time.
yeah, exactly. It was it was amazing. It was such a fantastic turnout, and I'm just looking forward to it growing each year. And so rucking is a military term for walking with a weighted pack. So again, because, my dad was in the military, I wanted to just do something that really, it reminded me of him. I feel like it's something that he would be proud of.
Well, yeah, when it comes to those in the military, they have to do that all the time, lugging around their gear. So, when you have certain moments like that, you're kind of stepping into their shoes for a moment and kind of living out what they have to go through. I think that's really phenomenal. I think this is such a great way of going about it. Now, when all the officials were there at Schlatus Park, did you know that they were all going to be there? Was that planned at all? Were you expecting the crowd waiting for you?
We were not.
That's
Elizabeth, yeah. So Elizabeth is somebody that I've connected with for the Wappingers Hero Banner program, her and Kevin. And my mom had called the town because there's a crease in my dad's banner, and she was like, "We need to get this fixed." So, so she made a phone call to the town, and she got paired up with Elizabeth, and then they hit it off. And my mom started telling her about the Ruck. And she asked if I would reach out to her and just explain what was going on. And she said we would love to be there to support. And she was just fabulous. She offered to like buy drinks for everybody if there's any way they could help. So I knew that she wanted to be there. So I had texted her and I was like, "Hey, we're coming up by Ketchum right now." So I just thought that maybe she'd be there with my mom, just hanging out on a lawn chair, So, and then
a little bit more than that.
Yes, yeah. It was
the
great.
whole welcome wagon. That's amazing. I think that's so cool, and I'm glad to hear how much it has grown, even just in a 2-year period. And I want to just keep talking about that growth and how exactly that's benefiting a lot of veterans in the area. Again, you're listening to In Touch, Townsquare Media, the Hudson Valley's award-winning public affairs and issues program. We're speaking to Alissa about Rocky's Ruck for Johnny Cake, and it's this amazing ruck that's helping veterans in the area in honor of her dad and the legacy that he built in this area. Lifelong Wappingers members, or been here for a long time at least, and I think that's really incredible. So you said how that this program helps out with getting service dogs. That was something that was very big for your dad. But there's a few other different programs that can be offered through Guardian Revival and through this whole thing. Would you mind going through the different levels and stages of the fundraising and what can be offered?
Sure. So Guardian Revival is based out of Beacon, and they have different fundraisers all the time. You can contribute to whatever you'd like. A lot of them have obviously special meanings behind them, but they have like music programs that you can be a part of. There's different hiking events that you can be a part of and help to fund all of that. The sponsorship towards a dog. They do local events. They do community fairs. They do like street fairs. They're just very active in the community, which is fantastic because again, it's a it's a local charity, and they try to like dip their toes in whatever is going to appeal to somebody enough where they'll take an interest in it and they'll want to participate in it. So, yeah, they're really great. They're very responsive. And like I said, I think the best part is that they're local. So, that it's you can go into the office and speak to them, and there's Rachel, there's Cassie, they're all wonderful people. But yeah, it appeals to so many different genres and different interests. So anything that somebody's interested in, there's probably a campaign on the website for them to partner with.
That's terrific. One thing I remember, the actor Adam Driver, he was a Marine, and one of the things he did, I believe it was a TED Talk, and he was talking about how theater and music, he was able to start these programs for a lot of people, for a lot of veterans, and how it was able to help him and help others. And I thought that was super impactful. So to see that offering music and arts as a way of expression over here, I think is great. And then, of course, offering the different amazing adventures that they offer. I'm looking at this on the website as we're talking right now, and they have multi-day backcountry adventures. Like, that's so cool to be able to kind of be one with wilderness, kind of escape for a little bit, get centered, be grounded. I think that's so cool. And of course, the companions. So you said you guys were able to raise over $6,000 this year. And talking about the companions now, how exactly does that work when veterans get sponsored to have a new furry companion to help them out as a service animal?
So each service animal goes through extensive training to be able to partner with the veteran. And as they start to get partnered up, once they find somebody or a dog that would be a good companion for them, they'll take them through the training together so that the dog can learn how to adjust to the veteran themselves. There's certain signs if like maybe they're going to go and maybe they're leaning towards like a panic attack or they're having an anxiety attack. The dog can start to pick up on those things and calm them down, even just be a companion and go out for a walk on them. They train the dogs how to properly walk at the pace of the owner. So there's an extensive training period that goes along with it. But again, the partnership starts out right away.
Pets in general can be so beautiful and such a lovely lifelong friendship. But then at the same time, when you offer the service component to it, it really does take it up a notch and really is helpful. And I think that's great. So with that, with your experience, of course, with your dad and Rocky, and now in the past 2 years building this up, what has this done and what have you seen do for you and your family at this time as you see like you're coming over the hill and you're seeing all these people and you're seeing these donations? What has that been like for you and your family?
Now I'm going to get emotional.
It happens.
It's honestly, it's like one of the most heartwarming things. It was very tragic to lose my dad in a very tragic way, and is obviously something that we didn't know was going to happen. But since then, to know that the whole community that we are a part of has come together in order to support us, it just reminds us that like we're never alone. And if we can allow other people to realize that they're not alone either, it'll make a difference in someone's day. We've had our dark days, we've had our light days, and you never know what day it's going to come. There's a lasting effect that comes along with it. And obviously that goes for everybody. Losing somebody is never easy for anybody. It doesn't cancel out one way or another just because of how it happened, but it does allow us to be comforted by the fact that we have a family within our family, and it's not just within our four walls, it's the next four walls, and it's within this entire atmosphere of this community in the Hudson Valley, and down to like where my family lives, and it's amazing, and to know that like people are dedicating time out of their free days just to come and walk with us for 2 hours, or to share the posts on their social media pages, or to talk about it with their friends, or while they're getting their hair done, they're telling their hairdressers. And we get some donations. I'm like, I don't know who this person is, but I love them. Thank you so much. This is fantastic. Yeah, it's amazing. We had t-shirts made as well that we sold to everybody, and they went so fast. Before we even started the Ruck, they were all sold out. And that was in partnership with a really good family friend who owns a screen printing business, and they helped us so much. And she even checked in just to see how it went, and it leaves a lasting effect on everybody. And I think it all goes back to just having that mentality of just being a good person. You show that you're trying to do something right, and you're trying to do something for other people's benefit, and just something that you can do to help. I think that just speaks to people's hearts, and it definitely speaks to me and my family, and we're just very thankful for everybody.
Yeah, honestly, the Hudson Valley is very grateful to what you're doing, because that's great work that you're promoting. I do a number of things when it comes to veterans. Probably one of the things that I do most often, we were talking about this off the mic, the Hyde Park Summer Night Car Cruise. And
Yes.
At the car cruise, we have a lot of veterans. And when we got talking about all this, how many of them were just like didn't even hesitate. It was like, yeah, give us the link. Give me the link. Or had a couple of guys like, oh, I'm working a couple of conferences. I'm going to print out a flyer, or like, I'm going to figure this out. So, just how quick when it comes to the military, there really is a brotherhood. There really is. And they look after one another, whether it was the Marines or the Army or the Air Force, just the fact that you serve, there is a brotherhood to it. And people in the Hudson Valley I've seen time and time again really come together to look after each other. And I think this is just a beautiful way to be able to honor your father's legacy here. I think that is absolutely terrific, and I'm happy to hear about it. And I think now it is time that we need to tell people where exactly to go to donate. The Ruck might be done for the year. They're going to do it again next year, of course, and we'll keep you posted if they do any more stuff. But the link is never going down. It doesn't go down. You can donate anytime, really. So if anybody wants to donate, get involved, help out, what is the best way for people to donate and be involved with Guardian Revival and Rocky's Ruck?
You can actually, so we have obviously the link. We can always send it out to anybody that wants it. But if you can donate right on the Guardian Revival page. You can choose to donate to whatever fundraiser page that you would like to donate to. But if you're specifically looking for Rocky's Ruck, I believe you can just go in and type it in. I'm just looking at it now. Yeah, so if anyone is looking to donate, so if you go to the Guardian Revival page, we can go to give.guardianrevival.org/campaign/604576/donate. Again, that is give.guardianrevival.org/campaign/604576/donate. And they can donate right through that page for Rocky's Ruck. Or like I said, or they can pick a different foundation that they want to go for. But either way, all the funds go directly to Guardian Revival to support a sponsor.
Absolutely. And of course, we'll have all the links and information in the description of this episode, so you'll be able to go directly to Rocky's Ruck for Johnny Cake. You'll be able to donate. You'll be able to read more about John, aka Johnny Cake, and his background, of course, and you'll be able to take part in helping out with Guardian Revival. I think this is terrific. Alissa, thank you so much for being here on this episode of In Touch. Before we completely wrap up, do you have any last little nugget that you want to share with the Hudson Valley listening audience?
Sure. I would just like to say thank you, whether anyone's listening in or they've donated or talked about it or cheered us on and they want to come join us next year. Everybody is welcome. There is no sign up. If we can always get in contact with one another should there be somebody who's interested in partnering with us. But I just want to say thank you to everyone who has offered the support to my family and I. We are forever grateful, and it really just reminds us that no one's ever alone, and we're happy to be going through all of this together.
Absolutely. And of course, it's free to sign up, but if you want to get one of those t-shirts, you're going to have to get there a little early next time. But yes. No, that's terrific. Alissa, thank you so much. A lot of love and blessings to you and your family. This is a great thing that you're doing for the area and wonderful for your father's legacy. So again, thank you for being on this episode of In Touch.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
This has been this week's edition of In Touch, the award-winning public affairs and issues program that runs across Townsquare Media, the Hudson Valley radio stations. We want to give a big thank you to Alissa Coschigano Mosca. For more information, please visit give.guardianrevival.org/campaign/604576/donate. Of course, all links and information can be found in the description of this episode. Whether you've been listening for a while or you just joined us, thank you. You can find In Touch episodes new and old on your favorite streaming services like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and more. That and listen on demand with your Townsquare radio station mobile app. Of course, you can still find all articles and audio under the In Touch tab on this radio station's app and website. And don't forget, we're also on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram at InTouch_HV. I've been your host, Conor Walsh. Until next time, stay curious, keep an open mind, and as always, I'm glad we get to spend some time